I just got to see if Thomas is going to, throw the old ball my way.
I hadn't even thought about it till you
if
said
he doesn't throw
it
it my way, we can't ever start, and I'm going to, he's getting the old arm ready. Oh, he's dropping it for me. All right. I guess I'm just catching it slightly.
Are you under
back.
him?
Yeah, that was not a throw, but we're back. List Night
I'm
Podcast.
tired.
Yeah.
Episode 10.
Episode 10. We're 10 episodes in. I never thought we were going to make one episode. And then after the first one, I was like, we probably shouldn't make a second. Like, this is who wants this? But here we are.
Every time after we record, I'm like, well, that was fun while it lasted.
Every time we get through a recording, we're like, that was a good last episode. I'm glad to be done with this project. I never have to talk to these guys again. But yeah, we're back. Episode 10, List Night Podcast. Shouts to you guys for putting up with me this long, and shouts to anybody that's been listening to us through here. Continue to do so, please. Continue to share us with every single person you know. We're going to be doing a non-media focused list this week. Yeah.
I thought you were saying we're going to be doing this until we die. I thought
we are going to be doing this until we die, which, fingers crossed. Who knows when that's going to be.
Maybe it's because I'm just not, I don't do a lot of Zoom meetings or Skypes, as we call them. I'm so bad at looking at the camera. Honestly, I just keep looking at myself.
No,
even when you guys are talking,
no one looks at the camera.
Myself.
No one on a Zoom meeting looks at the camera. They all look at where they're like, they look at themselves or the people on their screen. No one looks at the camera because that's fucking bizarre.
Yeah, no, Thomas, I find myself doing the same thing. And in fact, now I have our entire Zoom meeting at the very top of my screen so I can look at myself, and it's just barely below the camera.
Yeah.
So that way it looks like I'm looking a little bit closer to the camera.
That's what, because it's in speaker mode, like whoever's speaking, it pops up, and the three of us stay up top. Yeah. But like, even when one of you is speaking, I'm still looking at myself. And like, for someone with like,
you look great.
Yeah, but here's the thing: someone with like borderline self-esteem, like, it makes me feel pretty. I'm like, oh, man, I'm looking at myself. I might be okay.
And I mean, we mentioned it earlier. Are you using the touch-up appearance feature that Zoom comes with, or is this all natural?
I'm not.
You're not using it and you look this good? Oh, man, if you're listening to the audio podcast right now, you are missing out. Thomas is
Griffin. We should have Thomas on like a take your child to work day for us. But he'll be like our child. That way he can experience the madness that is just sedentary Zoom life in the corporate world.
Okay. You're saying because we work in offices, not because Thomas doesn't have a real job.
I understand that was a weird way to phrase all that.
Really not sure where you were going with that one, if I'm being honest.
But Andrew did give me a great idea, like, or maybe not, because everyone's working from home anyway, and so maybe the kids are already running around in the background. But like, take your child to work day is a great excuse just to have your kid like sit there and be like, all right, we're working, you got to be quiet, and then they're just on the Zoom meeting.
Yeah,
I'm sure they won't be quiet.
Speaking of childhood,
our list this week is going to be all-time childhood moments. And as always, I feel like I do have to say, we did not set a criteria for this list because we never do. And so there's a very real possibility, considering how broad of a topic that is, that we are going to have wildly different lists. And if you've been a listener for all 10 episodes thus far, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, I know Griffin and Andrew are going to take this really seriously, and they're going to get really emotional with it. And Thomas, the comedian of the group, is going to be the funniest one, and yet somehow, when the voting is all done, he's going to lose again. But he's a fan favorite, and so that, I mean, I gotta imagine it's going to play out the same way again this week. You're going to be a favorite in everything but voting.
He's just the guy. He's the guy that would be great to take home to your mom, but you never do.
He's the Bernie Sanders of our podcast. Like, everyone wants him to win, but not enough people are voting for him to actually get across the finish line.
I think I prefer Andrew's explanation.
Well, it's a better explanation, but I'm going to now think of you as the Bernie Sanders of our group, which is probably going to cause some other members of our group a lot of frustration.
Also, Andrew, fantastic natural segue into childhood. I mean, that was.
Oh yeah.
You're getting better.
Let's try.
I think we're nearing the point where the old GQ is going to lose his hosting permissions, and it's going to move on over to Andrew.
It's going to mostly be because I'm about to test you, Griffin. Do you know what the order is?
I do know what the order is. And I'm not just buying time right now. It's Andrew gonna go first. Why am I telling you? I'm telling the audience. Andrew is gonna start today, and then we're gonna follow him up with Thomas, and then I am gonna go last because, as we all know, save the best for last. And I can say that we're saving the best for last because at the time of this recording, I am yet again in the lead as it comes to our previous week's votes. And I don't think I'm going to lose the lead. I think I'm going to win again. So that'll bring me up to 4.5 wins on the season.
You guys are not ready for when I figure out what people like.
How many episodes to a season? We should decide
Thomas,
that.
if you figured out what people
Then
like,
we could do playoffs.
you'd have a girlfriend.
Man, if I knew what people liked, my life would be different.
It'd be significantly different. Yeah. You've got a lot to offer. You just don't know how to express that to people.
I just don't know how to offer what they want.
What you need in your life, Thomas, is a Will Smith as Hitch-like character. Not necessarily from like a dating perspective, but you just need somebody to craft that ball of goop that you currently are and just like set you free.
So I wasn't insulted by being compared to Kevin James. Like, he seems like an all right guy, pretty funny. But then you said ball of goop, and that one kind of
like a ball of putty. Nothing.
Yeah, that's even
your
worse. I mean,
that doesn't help.
Yeah,
that doesn't help.
those metaphors are not.
You're an unformed.
Yeah, you're a pile of shit, is what he's saying. You're a giant pile of shit.
You're an unformed piece of clay, and let me be your Will Smith. Let me just craft you into a slightly better, significantly douchier person.
For anyone out there who doesn't know, I'm not as lumpy as Griffin is making me sound. I just want that to be known.
And if you're listening to the audio pod, there's no way to prove that. But if you're watching the video pod, you will know whether or not Thomas is telling the truth. He is telling the truth. He's not lumpy. Handsome guy. Ladies, as far as I'm aware, he's single. This could be your moment. And on that note, before Thomas comes to California and kills me, I'm going to turn it over to Andrew and let him get started with the list.
Yeah, thanks. See, this is why I don't want to be the host, because I sometimes I like just sitting back and letting you go, and I would tune out for a while, and I come back in and I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? He doesn't stop fucking talking, and that's where I would struggle. I'm big on brevity, so you know me.
I don't know the meaning of brevity.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So all-time childhood moments. I have a list. The topic's very broad, and my list is pretty broad. So I'm going to jump right into it. You'll see with number 5. My number 5 is playing. so that's how broad some of these are. Playing, like recess.
So
can we interrupt already?
No.
I know Thomas has one.
Andrew is back on his bullshit, as the kids will say.
I'm back on his cheating bullshit. Not only is he
I
already like cheating by going this broad, although I guess it's not cheating because we didn't set rules, but are you implying that adults don't play? I would argue I play more as an adult.
Well, I was going to elaborate a little bit. I meant specific.
Elaborate. Tell me, please tell us how ridiculous.
Specific kid playing. I'm talking like recess activities. I'm talking like capture the flag, Foursquare, games in a swimming pool, fucking throwing a stick around. I don't
Thomas
know.
Does those things every day of his life.
Kicking each other. This is what I'm talking. Like, you know, just to be able to make up a game off the top of your head as a kid, and just, you know, have one ball and a bunch of friends and be able to just go outside and do random fun shit.
Bunch of friends.
Sure. So I have one more thing I got to touch on. You can keep going, but you described a number of games and then you finished with kicking each other. As if that was a game that most people grew up playing.
I've never been a kid. I don't know what it's like.
As someone who grew up and played these games with Andrew, I don't remember the kicking game, but it might be because I consider it trauma.
You also didn't remember him being a huge fan of Dragon Ball Z, which apparently he was. So I think
he hid that from
blocked out a lot of things.
It was the 2 years where I went to a smart school. I watched a lot of Dragon Ball Z and I kicked everyone. That's what happened during those 2 years.
He was the bully of the smart school.
Here's my thing with your list, and I'm not calling it number 5. I'm calling it your list because each one of those things could be something on your list, but you were just like, you know what? Let me just push this into just one number.
I honestly think he might win on the strength of his number 5.
I'm condensing. You'll see. I'm condensing literally every day of childhood into 5 items on this list. So I am very much back on my bullshit. I will give you that.
All right.
For the
Can't wait to hear
visuals.
Griffin's bar mitzvah.
For the visuals, I want number 5 to say playing, parentheses, kicking. Because I think that's what you really miss. It's just kicking
fine.
and it being okay.
I miss kicking people. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you're in a committed relationship. You can bring it back at almost no consequence.
Jesus Christ.
Some consequence.
Okay. All
Some
right. So number
Moral consequences.
He would lose that fight. He would lose that fight every day of the week.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's scared.
Number 4 on my list is getting a new video game or video game system, and like having a sleepover with friends and just playing it all night. And this is a more of a specific.
So a video game and or video game system and a sleepover with friends. So that's your number 4.
Yes, all of it mashed into one.
Great. Awesome.
Yep.
Fantastic.
So I mean, I feel like I just have good memories of GameCube coming out, the original Xbox coming out, things like that, and just it being new and playing with friends all night long for a sleepover or two. I remember that's why I'm mashing it together. So maybe this is more of a personal pick than a general pick about childhood, but that's why it's on my list.
Pretty general pick. A lot of people play video games.
Yeah. Andrew Simon, only guy that had sleepovers and or video game systems.
Andrew,
Crazy they stay in business.
Remember what I believe was the first time we played 50-turn Mario Party and Kristen called Matt and we were all very angry about it?
Yes.
Good times.
Yes.
Good times.
Yes.
You're now telling a personal story, thus making this even more personal pick.
Yeah,
and
this
we're
is
using
how I
people's
play this.
names.
This is how I play the game. No one's gonna vote for Andrew because it's too personal.
That's true. It is really personal.
Yeah, I'm learning.
That's fine, but that's a good example of why I loved it so much. 50-turn Mario Party, just like knowing you're just gonna be playing Mario Party for the next 5 hours, or however long 50-turn Mario Party takes. It's great.
I mean, I do get the pick. I do agree with Griffin once again that it's just like 3 picks in one. I will say for me, like I felt like anytime I got a new system, it was on Christmas, so I wasn't playing with anyone but myself. And I don't mean that in a sad way. I mean that like in a happy way.
It sounds a little sad though. It does sound a little.
Well, no, but like I wasn't forced to invite the weird Andrew kid down the street to come sleep over to play video games because it was Christmas. Like, oh, different Andrew, different Andrew.
Yeah, definitely.
That's fair, but you'll appreciate this. I feel like also included in this pick, I'm just going to keep broadening it, is like getting one from Blockbuster, even if you don't own it, getting it for the night. I feel like your family, we'd go with your family and you guys would get like a bunch of movies and we would get a video game.
We'd get a game.
Like, when we list this pick out on like in the video and on the Instagram, it's going to be like 4 different sentences with an asterisk and a subheading.
Yeah.
All for one.
There's gonna be 5 footnotes for every single pick. I have no idea.
Wait for you to not be on.
I don't know how I'm gonna put the Instagram post together.
I can't wait for you to be too busy to do this.
Do you guys remember the shit you gave me for my things within the list and my sub and my 3A? And Andrew's got 4A, 4B, 4C, 4D. I almost said the alphabet wrong.
Yeah, he's 2 picks in and he's listed an almost infinite number of things.
I will say, I mean,
let's be honest. At this point, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna put what I want to put on my list, and it's gonna be more than 5 things. And fuck you guys.
Absolutely lying. You badly want to win.
That's true. I do very much agree with the Blockbuster statement, which I guess that's like, if we do the math, that's probably like your number 1 at this point. But yeah, getting the game from Blockbuster was pretty great, pretty grand.
Yeah.
I gotta stop drinking coffee while Thomas is talking. I'm gonna have another incident throwing up on the pod.
If you could just do a spit take like a normal person, it'd be fine. But
if I do a spit take,
like you regurgitate your entire last 8 meals.
If I do a spit take, thousands of dollars of computer equipment out the window. So I would rather not do that.
Start hanging a shower curtain in front of all your equipment and just cut out a hole for the camera.
That is surprisingly intelligent.
Ingenuity.
Maybe he's the brains of the podcast.
He's not the funny guy. He's not the brains of the podcast. There are no brains on this podcast. There's a lot of brawn, but no brains.
I appreciate that.
Just
Number
three
three, number three, getting a pet. So this is more of a traditional pick, I feel like. Growing up, I was not from a big pet family, but we did get guinea pigs, and I got a hermit crab when I was very young. but I'm mostly just like wishing that as a kid I got a cat or dog. I feel like that's bigger. But
This pick
but when
gets
you're
sad again.
Yeah, man.
but when you're young, like any pet is an exciting time.
Yeah.
So
Can't wait to go play catch in the backyard with my hermit crab.
I fully agree. But yeah, you went from just like smashing all your picks together to sad. And it when you first said it, I sat here and then I actually thought about it. I was just like, what fucking pet did Andrew have? And I was like, oh shit, they had guinea pigs for a long time.
Yeah.
I completely forgot you had guinea pigs.
And my hermit crab lived much longer than the average hermit crab, actually. So
I imagine when you don't have that many pets to take care of, that makes sense.
Losing that hermit crab is still clearly affecting you.
Yeah. So the way I see list night is that there's 3 ways to win a list. Number 1, have the best list.
Wait. I need to take notes because I don't know.
You're listing out the ways to win list night now?
Yeah, these are the ways. This is the. I should honestly keep this from you guys, but there's 3 ways to win. 1, have the best list. That's the obvious choice, but it's not always possible. So number 2, like for 3 of our friends who listen. So number 2 would be to cheat in that you cram a bunch of stuff into the list that's like borderline shouldn't be allowed. And number 3 is just appeal to people's emotions and act really sad. So that's kind of, I tried to bring 2 of those 3 into my list because I'm not doing number 1.
Let's pause again for a moment. The way that you just described those things, considering you're known as the cheater and Thomas is known as the pity guy, you kind of just admitted that I'm known as the guy with the best lists.
No.
I'm willing to shoulder that burden.
No, the way he should have worded it was the one way to win is the Thomas method. Best list.
Why are you giving tips on the way to win?
Underappreciated. The second way, the cheating method, also known as Andrew. The third method is be sad. And like Griffin doesn't like try, but like we all know.
He's dealing with some
He's
stuff.
sad.
It's also just like talk the most. That way people think that you're saying intelligent things. That's the Griffin method.
Right.
Yeah, you talk so much that like these headphones not even connected. I'm not listening. I'm just guessing.
And then the fourth method, create a bunch of burner accounts and vote for yourself.
That's the Thomas method again. We're back to the Thomas method.
Used them. I haven't used them.
Yeah,
Number 2.
Washington football team.
Number 2 on my list is a school-related one, specifically getting out of school. So I have 2 subcategories to this, of course.
You said going to school. I was about to end
No. One of which is a repeat from one of our other lists, which is the last day of school. But then also like a snow day where you're expecting to go to school and you get out.
How are you going to make the Instagram graphic for the amount of subheadings that you have? You're going to need like 7 pages for yourself.
Honestly, I thought you just meant like the end of a school day, but no, you have 2 categories for it. So you mean either the cancellation of school or the ending of school for the year,
right?
So 2 picks,
right?
Okay.
It's like a big moment. It's not just like, oh, the school's over for the day. That happens every day.
All right.
Okay. You guys don't seem very impressed.
We're not. We are not impressed.
I think it's a basic pick. I think it's a basic pick.
It's a basic pick. Honestly, it's a fine pick, but because you added subcategories to it, it's a set of picks. And again, I refuse to humor that. But by all means, go on with your bad self. Enjoy your beginning of school, end of school. Who even knows?
I'm glad you said go on with your bad self because I'm just going to go real quick, jump right into my number 1, which is doing hood rat shit / doing something you probably shouldn't be doing. Okay. And I mean, what comes to mind for me, like not
stealing
real
cars.
Not real crimes, but like being in a park after dark when you're not supposed to be there and the park police are chasing you out of there. Some stuff like that that's okay to do when you're a kid. If you're an adult, it's weird and don't do shit like that. But when you're a kid, when you're a kid, it's like any minor thing that I probably shouldn't be doing is like a huge adventure. It's like
Yeah.
it's like real life Rugrats when you do shit like that.
No, definitely.
I'm glad
I
you
agree with this
you
one.
clarified. Like, hood rat shit is the most basic of.
Hood rat shit when
Yeah.
you grew up in Montgomery County is like hanging out in the park at 9:15 p.m. instead of 9 p.m.
Well, yeah,
Not like
hanging out,
selling drugs on the corner.
Right.
hanging out in the park that Andrew's and our other friends' backyard backs up to. So really, we're just in like their extended backyard.
Like none of our friends were getting shot.
But it was
We
big.
were just like slightly breaking curfew and like going to McDonald's.
I mean, we went into the sewer once, so
That's another great example. We, got skateboards and, on our stomachs, just pushed our way through the storm drain. I don't know what we were doing through there. What was the end goal? I don't really know.
What was your end game for that? Like, we're gonna meet the Ninja Turtles. We're gonna. We
wanted to go farther than our friend's brother did, and farther than he told us he did. Because like when you think about it, there's no way he made it that far. Not with the giant wave of water coming at you.
Oh, okay.
No, it was just a long way. It was like 3 blocks.
Yeah. Well, I do remember like we went in, then there was a bunch of spiders and we went out, and then instead of stopping, we got some sticks to kill the spiders and then we went back in. And then we kept going, but then there was water that was coming. You remember there was like water coming through and we were like nervous that we were just going to die because a bunch of like a wave of water was going to come, but it was just some guy like washing his car.
I was saying, there's no way it wasn't. It was definitely someone just washing
like
their
a
cars.
mid-'80s coming of age movie. Like,
yeah,
it sounds like you just watched Stand By Me and then are now talking about it.
Honestly, it wasn't even that entertaining. It was more mundane than even that.
I don't think we ever went back in.
No. Well, we accomplished what we needed to accomplish.
Oh,
look, I'm just proud that was like one pick.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with any of your picks per se. I disagree with your method for picks. I do disagree that they are in the top 5 because they're not on my list, so they can't be top 5.
I really didn't know which way to go with this list. I'm curious to hear both of your lists because maybe I'll be like, wow, I was just not even on the right track at all.
I will say ahead of time, we went in a kind of similar direction with it. I don't think we share any picks, but we did go in a similar direction.
Yeah.
Okay. Similar direction in the fact that you both picked 5 things that you liked from your childhood, or
we picked 5 things that are going to get us the vast majority of the votes, as per usual.
Well, I don't even know how Thomas could go out of left field with this one, but I'm sure we'll wait and
don't worry, he will.
Yeah. Let me give my recap. I'm going to attempt to give my recap. I don't know how to phrase all these. Number 5 is playing. Number 4 is getting a new video game system or renting one.
Just say gaming.
Okay. Yeah, but it has to do with like having a sleepover, whatever. Okay, number 3, getting a pet. Number 2, getting out of school either by last day of school or a snow day or cancellation, something like that. And number 1, doing hood rat shit, just getting into, crazy adventures, doing things that you probably shouldn't be doing as a kid. But again, clarification, not real crimes, just sort of, things that seem cool to you as a kid.
With your friends, right? Not just hood rat shit. Because if you do it by yourself, it's just like weird.
No, yeah.
Sad.
It's like Thomas all the time.
Okay.
Just kidding. I'm the one that moved to California. I suck.
So that's all good for right now, but when we put this into written form for any posts or anything, you're going to need to whittle it down to just 5.
Yeah, or I'll just go like 2-point font so I can fit all that onto the.
It'll be a graphic for Thomas. It'll be a graphic for Griffin, and it'll be a text document for Andrew that he just takes a screenshot of.
We don't have many rules, but I feel like the one is that it's 5 items.
Yeah, and you just listed again either an infinite number and at the very least about 13 things.
Well, he literally said. You literally said for school, you would like cancellation, like a snow day at school, or those are 2 different things.
Yeah. Or the last day of school, or just like when school ends, or like maybe a weekend, or
like just a time of day where you're not in school. Like it was fun.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but you went too broad with it.
This
thing that we
was bad.
intended to be broad.
We should add. I mean, if we want to discuss adding like penalties, I'll take a penalty because I don't know what that means. Maybe I lose like a vote.
A
Out of
vote?
the
You're
actual,
just
like-
gonna make a second account. No, not a vote. We'll
10
figure out how many votes
episodes.
you get, and then we'll penalize you accordingly.
You were 10 episodes too late to accept a penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We should
We
go
might just
back
throw a
and
DQ
take
your
some of
way
your
this
wins.
week. I don't know. All in favor of a DQ? I'm raising my hand.
no. We go no holds barred here.
All right, Tommy,
I'm
all you,
just
man.
gonna give you
Yeah,
a
show
good
us
list.
what
Hey.
it is.
this is not I'm not out of left field here. All right. This isn't one of my semi-pro picks for sporting events. All right.
Which I watched last night.
This isn't, and this I thought about putting hot dogs on this list, but I didn't. I
You
didn't.
do have a brand.
Not even once. Not even once. Number 5 is Valentine's Day. Specifically from like preschool to 5th grade, when you get a card and candy from everyone in school in your class. Because like that's just a good feeling that you don't get now. And that's not supposed to be sad. That's just facts.
But it is sad.
It's a little sad. Here's why I disagree with that pick. Getting a
You can't
card
see.
and candy from, well, okay, rude. And ableist. Getting a card and candy from everyone means that you also have to give a card and candy to everyone. And it's just like an extreme amount of effort. Like, I don't have time for that. I never had time for that.
No. You weren't doing it. Your mom did it.
Oh,
Where was the effort?
huh.
Where was
no,
the effort?
I definitely feel like I had to write those cards.
You had to write names on it. There's no effort. You're late.
Yeah, your
You're late.
parents bought them, but that's like 30 names.
Yeah.
I'm over
you
here
were-
not learning the names of all my classmates until like the last day of school. That's like 30 names I've got to remember.
I've never really pictured like 4th grader Griffin, but it probably was like, I'm gonna move to California. I'm gonna sit on the beach.
He was.
I don't know why I got so deep with
No,
Big douchebag, but then
his
weirdly
voice was
from
really
Texas.
deep. I hit puberty way too early in life. That was a really good
No,
representation.
but, like,
of me.
Valentine's Day was fun because yeah, you had to write 30 names down, but for every name you wrote down, you got a piece of candy essentially.
I get where you're coming from, but I disagree.
Gosh.
I
just-
like the elementary school Valentine's Day thing, where
Yeah.
where you got a lot of candy. I
go
mean,
buy
I
candy.
included 80 things on my list, and this still wouldn't have made mine.
I guess you don't like candy. I guess you don't like
I
candy or
just
love.
would-
I guess
I
you
don't-
don't
I
like
mean-
candy or love or friendship or people or things that make me happy.
Oh, okay.
I
So
don't-
now your list is like 7 things. Great, awesome. I'm
I
glad you're
also-
done with your list now.
But I also like. I mean, I want to hear the rest of your list. But if your main thing is candy, there's a pretty obvious better choice.
Well,
Is
there not?
He either forgot about it, which I'm guessing he did based on his reaction, or it's coming up soon on the list.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 4 was shit. I'm gonna sound like Andrew here because it was originally like the end of a season, like end of the sports season party, like with your team.
Okay.
At, like, usually like a CC's or like something fun.
Gentlemen gyms, baseball.
Kind of jumbled, yeah. Kind of jumbled into that though was post swim meet, like McDonald's.
Okay.
Like it's just a good time. You're with everyone you want to be with. Like you just were super athletic, probably won the game in my case, like was the hero in my case, scored the most points in basketball, like always. And then
While
you're just
Andrew
having a
was
good time.
fouling guys
You're
on
eating-
turnovers.
You you're eating terrible food, but you don't know it, and it tastes good. And like you're just with your boys and girls hanging out,
This
and you're not
This
paying
is
for
really-
anything.
this is a really fucking good pick.
It
I really
is
like
a really
this
good pick, and yeah, I thought about a similar one. Didn't quite crack the list. Kind of regretting it, but
Yeah.
it's not in my top 5.
I'll be honest. Now that I made this list 5 minutes before we started. I'd probably put this higher, but I'm okay with it because like I did jumble 2 kind of separate events because swim meetups happen every week in the summer, where like the end of the season meals were once a year.
Yeah,
Um,
but
like-
yeah, but it's a similar idea, and yeah, like I have restaurants right now that just come to mind, like
Yeah.
Joe's Pizza, Fuddruckers was a big one. Yeah, like where you know where you would just eat a ton and get those trophies that boomers like to complain about, even though it was their generation's idea to give everyone trophies.
Just an insane take from older
Wow.
people
Yeah.
to be mad about participation trophies. Like,
Right.
like we were like 6 years old and we were like, hey, I want to make sure I get a trophy too. No, you dumb idiots. And I'm not
Can
saying it's about
we-
everybody. There are some cool boomers, but you're throwing stones in the exact wrong direction.
Can we talk about Andrew's character growth here, where every episode he used to be like, "Here's my boomer pick," and now he's like, "Screw boomers."
Yeah,
Like,
well, we
big
mentioned
change.
Bernie
Big
Sanders
change.
earlier, so he's probably pissed off about boomers.
Well, no,
for
I'm now
supporting our
no,
guy.
I'm now trying to just I'm changing gear. I'm now going for Gen Z. So you guys are Chugi, and I'm appealing to Gen Z.
You call us Chugi?
Chugi, look it up.
Tell
Is
us.
that a
Just
word
tell
that Gen
us.
Zers use?
Look it up. It's
Oh,
Gen Z
am I
thing.
gonna have to go on TikTok to figure out what
It's I think it's like a cringy millennial kind of stereotype. You know, like have
hate you for knowing this.
like having live, laugh, love on the wall and shit like that. It's Chugi.
Yep.
Yeah, did you check your wall?
Thomas and I both checked our walls in case we did have live, laugh, love on the wall.
Yeah.
Every episode now, I'm learning a new word. I am not hip.
No, you're not.
All right, number
New best
3.
words.
This is a good pick. That was a good pick. I will give you this
yeah,
credit. That was
It
a
was
good
fucking
pick.
great. It was a fucking great pick.
Yeah. Okay. Well, slow your roll.
Number 3. This is again elementary school based. Birthdays, because yours was the best, but others because your mom usually or someone typically brought cupcakes, and like class would literally stop, and you'd have a snack break. Even if you didn't like the kid, you still got a cupcake on their birthday. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's right.
no one comes to work anymore and stops me and is like, "Hey, here's a free cupcake. Take your time, eat it up. Then we'll get back to multiplication, even though you don't understand it." Why don't they do that anymore?
Yeah, I mean, it would kind of be sad in adulthood to show up to like a meeting and be like, "Hey guys, it's my birthday, so here are a bunch of cupcakes. Like, enjoy them for me in celebration of me." But I actually,
But
forgot
I
about
would
that.
support that. Yeah, I'd be team that. As long as I'm not the guy that has to bring the cupcakes, like somebody else can make them and I will bring them to a location. Julia, you know.
That's the thing. Like, I don't care about my birthday now. And like, this is even just like my birthday. This is just like I find it really annoying. I don't even find it annoying. If you like your birthday, you like your birthday. I don't care. You know, do whatever you want to do for yourself. But like, elementary school, it was like, hey, we're just gonna have, cupcakes together. Like, it doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. Like,
Yeah,
it's not being invited or not invited to a party. It's just like, hey, here's a snack. And I love
maybe
snacks.
that's why you stopped liking birthdays, because that stopped happening. That might be it.
Probably.
And I agree. I mean, I agree. I'll go one step further and say I don't really care about other people's birthdays either, and mine or other people. Unless you're under the age of, if you're under the age of like 9, then okay, yes. But once you get to be 9,
like our nephew and niece, like we're like team their birthdays. But like outside of that, like I don't give a shit about random kids like 8 birthdays. And also like when I was a kid, I'll be the fucking stick in the mud on this one, and you guys know this. I was never a birthday guy. I think birthdays are pretty stupid. I'm glad that people enjoy their birthdays. I'm glad that people have fun with them. But birthdays on any list, unless it's like things I don't like, they're not going to be there. I've always been confused, and hopefully this will get my mom to vote for me this week, by the fact that on your birthday, people don't just celebrate your mother. That seems like it makes way more sense than celebrate. Like, I didn't do anything on my birthday. All I did was like exist. My mom, though, real MVP.
100% do not believe that little 8-year-old 5'7" Griffin was like, "Why aren't we celebrating my mom?"
I can guarantee you can straight up hit up my sister or my mother, and they will tell you I hated my birthday at a young age, and I have been annoying about this argument for 20 years.
I mean, no, it's not annoying. I just don't believe that little 5-year-old 4
Stop
foot
saying
8
stop
Griffin
saying
was.
little and then changing my height.
Well, you're getting younger. You didn't come out of your hard-working mother, this giant lanky dude.
Thank you. I am giant.
No, but like that's this isn't even like birthdays are great. This is just
Sure.
like
You're just talking cupcakes.
You're just a cupcake guy. So
At the
just
end of
say
the day,
cupcakes.
at the end of the day,
Your
I'm
number
talking
3 pick is
cupcakes.
cupcakes.
You're
No,
talking
no, but
cupcakes, and 2 of your picks are about sweets. And again, I got to remind you that there's one glaring
It
absent
might
thing
make
from
its
your
way on.
list.
He's still got picks to go. Let him breathe.
I no, like what it comes down to me, and yeah, it's similar to the Valentine's Day pick. Is like it's just like it's a wholesome celebration, and again, it's like it's not about like if you're friends with them or if they're not inviting you to something. Like it's just like a hey, let's all just be happy for 5 minutes, or in my case, 5 seconds, as the cupcake is just in the gullet and down. But
The
like, let's
gullet.
enjoy it.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
you
if
made
you
eating
but if you're
cupcakes
all
into such an unattractive thing.
yeah, that was gross. That was gross. But I would say like if you're these 2 picks where everyone gets a cupcake and everyone gets a Valentine and everyone gets a trophy. I mean, if everyone's happy, is anyone happy? If you're friends with if you're friends with everybody, are you
Just
then
get
friends
yourself
with
30
nobody?
cupcakes.
No,
Or
but that's not the
one
point.
real human cake.
That's not the point. This is childhood. I didn't have money. And also, I didn't talk about trophies. That was you, Andrew. You have some weird thing about trophies that you need to deal with.
It's
My
not
thing
I don't
is
weird.
know.
about
I think we all
hanging
got
out.
I don't
that.
even know where I stand on it because now I'm arguing in the other way. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I want boomers or Gen Z to listen. I don't care.
Number 2,
It's pretty chungy or chungy or whatever you said.
Chugi.
just makes me think of a Chewy bar, which I love.
It makes
Chewy
me
bar.
think of Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It did to me.
Hey, here's Griffin's mention of Star Wars every week. Anyway, number 2, getting ice cream, and more specifically, this is
This is
personal.
such a fat list.
This all my lists are. I had a list of just hot dogs. Come on.
Which was not that fat when you could have had worse foods on your list. Whatever. I'll let you go.
I didn't give you the quantity of hot dogs.
That's true.
Anyway,
Sucking down them glizzies.
no. And like I said, in a personal way, my grandparents got the same beach house every year for 2 weeks in Bethany. 1 week was for them, 1 week we could visit, which I respect the hell out of.
Yeah.
When we were there, every night we would walk down to Dickie's and we get ice cream. Every
Where's
night.
Dickies? I don't know Dickies.
It's in Bethany Beach.
Okay.
Every night. I mean, unless we were in like Rehoboth on the border or something, we'd go walk down. My grandma would buy us ice cream, and then we'd walk back, and that was fucking awesome. Ice cream is great, and so that's my number 2.
Yeah, I like this pick a lot. Technically, Dickies is frozen custard, but I do love Dickies.
They have ice cream too, you dumb fuck.
They do. You're right. They do have the hard ice cream also. But no,
Technically, my list is 15 numbers long.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry,
you're
go
gonna
on.
like what I'm gonna say next because I am absolutely Team Dickies at Bethany Beach. I also grew up going to Bethany Beach. Also didn't go every night like your family, but we would get Dickies quite a bit. And
Can't wait for Thomas to have diabetes.
And no, all my cousins are all Team Dickies except one of my younger cousins, and she would always go to Core Bros when we would all go to Dickies, and we have literally booed her as she walked to Core Bros.
Well, there's always one.
stood there
There's
and-
always one that's like I have to go to the different place.
That's my little sister at some point got to that point, and I think I shamed her
Into
enough.
only eating Dickies.
Yeah.
Bullying
No,
works.
actually, she still would go to
Bullying
Core Bros,
works.
but it's just, I mean, it's a
Yeah,
wholesome pick. It's
it's a
one
good-
for
it's a
the
good pick. It's a good
families,
pick.
the kids. Everyone loves ice cream, even lactose intolerant people. Really,
much.
it's a
They love it
winning
too much.
pick.
Yeah. No, it's a good pick. Ice cream, especially at the beach, timeless. Just a timeless experience. I mean, I didn't go to Dickies. I really wasn't a Core Bros person either at that point. But dumpsters growing up in Ocean City, just multiple times a trip, going with the family or just walking there yourself, get a milkshake, have yourself a time. It's very, very top tier childhood moments.
Yeah. So I forgot the fireworks and whatnot for my grand finale pick. This is something no.
Okay.
something that I still love doing, but it's different when you're a child. It just is. And that's God damn, it's gonna be like Andrew again because it's like one thing, but there's different things.
You bullied him
it's
so much not 15 minutes ago.
no,
about
but this is different. This is different. No, it's jumping into water. But I want to clarify, like it's jumping in the pool, jumping in the ocean, jumping through a sprinkler. Like jumping into water when you're a kid is just like a thrilling, exciting, refreshing thing. Like it's just so much fun. And as the first one in this group, like to go and live at a beach because like I probably love it the most, and like people are now following me and doing the same thing. But like I've just been so humble and quiet about it. And like now everyone's like, man, I want to be like that guy. So now they're doing it as that one of the group. Yeah,
Leonardo,
I mean, just
you're saying.
water is great.
People often argue that you're the Leonardo of our group, and that's why our group sucks so much shit.
No, but
So
jumping into water, it's a good time.
yeah, it's a good pick. I just want to be clear. So Halloween is not on your list.
No.
Surprisingly, Halloween's not on his list.
Do you know
Like
how much
99% of 99% of your list is about sugar, and Halloween did not make the list.
I don't even like sweets that much anymore.
I imagine you're probably sucking down some candy when you're jumping into water too.
That sounds super dangerous.
Big ring pop guy.
That wasn't.
Oh, that's tough.
But yeah, I like jumping into water. I love jumping in the water in pools. I love jumping in the water to the ocean. I love those are the two that come to mind.
Sprinklers.
A really small bathtub, a hot tub that's like the stairs are way too close up and you end up just like cutting yourself to pieces jumping in. Yeah, I get it. Same page, guys. Same page.
I feel like when you're really young, you usually like jumping into puddles.
Are you a tadpole?
I feel like that's like a little kid thing.
You're not like submerging in puddles, Griffin.
So you're like jumping like feet to feet on the puddle. You're not like ass flopping into the puddle.
No, he's not cannonballing in the puddles.
That's how I envisioned it, young Andrew.
No. Do you know what a puddle is?
Of current Andrew.
Oh my god. The one thing I'll say, Thomas, is even though you're a big jumping into water guy, I feel like you're not a big diving board guy.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Maybe I like you're not going to kick a diving board out of bed, but you weren't like the guy who would go off the diving board, you know, over just going in the pool.
I would hope that you would always kick a diving board out of bed.
Probably would. That would not be fun to sleep on. I was always more of a open well guy.
Oh yeah, open well way better than when people were on the boards. Yeah. I fully agree with that. That is the smartest thing you've said all day.
Yeah.
Open well is top
tier. Big sharks and minnows or beaver guy.
Yeah, scars all up and down my back from some beaver. Yeah, good times.
Yeah. This I mentioned this in my number 5 pick, which was playing. That included pool games.
It also included kicking, just the act of kicking. So let's probably not circle back to your number 5 pick.
I will say, no, I won't. This was a quickly made list. I did well. It's a winner. You guys are dumb. We probably just.
That's another strategy of mine, saying I did.
You guys love to say that you did well when you're done.
Saying I had a good list.
Crazy pills. I just did.
That's what our therapist told us to say. Like, say it out loud. Like, I did a good job.
Just speak it into existence.
I got home from work. I took a 3-hour nap. I woke up. I made coffee. I got on here. You guys were like, oh, I'm so nervous because Thomas is so good at this. And I was like, let me make my list right now. I had to ask what the topic was, and now I have a winning list.
Sure. So what's
give your recap
again? Let's give us that recap.
Okay. 5, elementary school Valentine's Day, because love is grand, love is great, candy's good. 4, end of season, or we can say post swim meet up at a restaurant. You know, insert whatever you did. 3, birthdays in elementary school, not parties, but at school. 2, ice cream, specifically for me, Dickies at Bethany Beach. 1, jumping into water.
Okay, you know, it is in fact a list. Would I say you did well? You know, you did.
Your number 4 was a banger.
Your number 4 was a banger, and honestly, the fact that you mentioned open well recently, like that might win some points from me. But
Griffin, Are you going to speech therapy? Because I think you're stuttering again because you said it is in fact a list when you clearly meant to say it is in fact a winning list.
I don't know if we really want to dive into the topic of speech therapy.
You're speaking like me where you just sometimes forget words.
Feels like it may bring some trauma to the surface, and I don't know if
No,
that's what we want on the pod.
I fully accepted that I do not know how to speak.
You say words good. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, you did participate in list night this week, and I appreciate that about both of you. And I appreciate that about both of you each week. It's kind of insane that I don't win every single week, but that's why I have my burners to vote for you guys, so that it does feel like there's a competition.
It's not.
It's not. You're right. It's not a competition. I had a little bit of a criteria for myself this week. Just like the two of you, I kind of put my list together in the past hour or so. The stuff that made it onto my list was stuff that I really enjoyed as a kid that I don't think you're really able to enjoy as much as an adult. And so that's part of why they made my list. I'm just gonna
like Valentine's Day.
No, I imagine I enjoy Valentine's Day more as an adult because I have a wonderful, loving partner that I get to spend it with, whose vote I just hope I'm going to get.
I'm just rubbing the dirt into my wound you threw at
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Also, sorry, not to interrupt you too much, but like, should we stop mentioning to the listeners that we are not preparing for this? Like, we're not taking it seriously?
No, I think they could tell.
Well, you know, it's my dream to have
whoa. We're taking it seriously. We're just taking it a very impromptu degree of seriously.
So my thing is, it's my dream to have an improv podcast. So we're just going to inch our way closer and closer to the point that we have zero preparation.
It's your dream to have an improv podcast?
I have very, mediocre dreams. Very mundane.
It's my dream.
I thought you were going to say very many dreams, which would have been a better response.
It's my dream that you don't achieve your dream.
Andrew, you want to start an improv podcast? I will learn how to do improv because that sounds like a colossal failure and I want to be there for it.
Griffin, just say yes. This is coming from someone who's never done improv and probably never could because it's a very impressive feat.
Oh, yeah,
just
that's
say
so
yes.
talented. People that are good at improv.
Say yes and.
Yeah, yes, okay. Yes and?
Yeah, but who is Anne?
Moving on to my list.
You guys are supposed to say yes and. Like, come on.
Yeah, no, okay.
I know what you're doing, but
yes and what's your list?
This could get ugly real quick.
And?
Yes and what's your list?
Here's my list. Number 5 on my list, one that is near and dear to my heart from an early age until, the end of my teen years, sneaking out. Sneaking out makes up a lot of my favorite childhood memories. And honestly, it probably started a little bit too early for me. I probably started just being a shithead child a little bit too young. But I have just an insane number of good memories, and not like sneaking out to like go meet up. I mean, like sometimes to go meet up with girls or like go drink with your friends or stuff like that. But sneaking out to like go to a friend's house at 2 a.m. and play Super Smash Brothers or something like that, or sneaking out to go meet up at the school down the street to play like 3 a.m. basketball or something, like just stupid things, things that you could do at daytime, but for whatever reason, if you were not allowed to be out while you were doing them, and if the rest of the world was asleep, they were just that much more fun. So yeah, sneaking out, kind of surprised it didn't make either of your lists, but from what I understand, you were kind of squares growing up, so I get it.
I mean, I have other things to say before I confront that. I'm glad you clarified that you don't enjoy this anymore for the sake of your relationship. You don't enjoy sneaking out. Happy for you for that.
Yeah, I'm also a grown-ass man who like can just live his life at nighttime.
Yeah, at what point it doesn't really.
And now I'm like,
it's literally just leaving
enjoy
your house.
an 11 p.m. bedtime these days, so I don't want to sneak out anymore.
So, as someone who did not sneak out often or like ever growing up, I like to think I do it now with Irish goodbyes.
You are the king of Irish goodbyes. You've Irish goodbye to different states, I believe.
Probably.
Yeah.
You just go and you keep going until,
I mean, definitely.
Until someone texts him, he's like, it's been 6 hours. This is where I land. I live here now.
No, I mean, this is not, like I said, this is not something that would ever make my list because it wasn't a part of my childhood really. Because I enjoyed
rules?
My home.
Your bed?
Yeah,
Your family's
I wish I
trust?
had more. I wish I had stories on this, but good kid. I didn't sneak out,
Went to
Dad.
a smart school,
So-
so yeah, we know.
We were
If you've
good
been a long
kids.
time listener of the pod, people know that you were not sneaking out.
We were
But
good kids who had permission to be at the park late at night.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like it's kind of like in line with that pick I had. Like maybe, you're just, doing stuff you probably shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so Griffin's number 5 is now part of Andrew's number 1.
yeah, I'm gonna absorb Griffin. Yeah.
He's slowly just absorbing our list.
So
Yeah,
he's just gonna have a list of 15, where there's also a list of like 79. So can't wait for that graphic again. Number 4 on my list. Not one that truthfully ended as I hit adulthood, but for the most part it did. It kind of lost its luster a little bit.
Sneaking in.
What's up?
Sneaking in.
No. But
That's got to be the worst part of sneaking out. Sorry, I just had to say that. Sneaking in's got to be the worst part of sneaking out.
100%. I almost got caught a lot of times. Number 4 on my list, though, without circling back to the sneaking out pick before I incriminate myself with any family members that are listening to this. Number 4 is night drives. And I do need to specify, while Thomas is shaking his head and Andrew's nodding his, night drives, I was never the driver. So it was just an
as opposed to now.
Yeah. No, obviously now I'm not either. But it was just another excuse for me to be like a passenger for like a long, relaxing drive with your friends during your teen years. You go to Jimmy Cone, or you go get fast food, or you go hang out with, whoever lived further away, or you just go drive for 2 hours, realize that you're like past Baltimore and it's 1 a.m. and you've probably got to go home because you have school in the morning. Night drives were the fucking shit.
Hey.
I'll start. Bad pick. I was nodding at first because I thought maybe you were talking about like a family car ride. Like this to me is teen years into adolescent year. Like this is not when I think of childhood memories. I don't think of me and my friends getting like no one had a license,
So
you may recall who some of the people I hung out with when I was a child were.
I was
not
gonna
my
say,
age.
Andrew said exactly what I was gonna say. Like, we don't make rules for this, but like, yeah, I wouldn't consider this childhood. I understand you hung out with grown adults who are now great grandparents.
People I shouldn't have been hanging out with.
Pretty creepily, yeah.
Like,
for me.
This
I was
is
the cool
definitely.
guy. They were creepy.
Nope.
Why didn't you get any friends your own age?
Chuggy.
You're so cool.
Chuggy, as the kids say.
That's not what the kids say. Well, I still don't know what it means.
No, it is what the kids say. You're just not a kid.
Well, based on these picks, I never was.
Yeah, I mean, this just I don't enjoy night drives anymore because I have terrible eyes now and I can't see well with the lights. No, but like night drives are great, but not when I was fucking 9 years old and getting kidnapped by the neighbor like you apparently were.
It was consensual.
Your
kidnapping.
childhood freaks me out. I'm glad
I'm making picks based on my childhood, I've got to be true to myself.
I'm glad I didn't know you till high school, because even then it was a lot to handle.
We were not friends in high school. Yeah,
I was like, I'm glad.
I'd say I didn't know you
after high school.
Yeah.
I will say, as a compliment to you, Griffin, you're actually like doing okay and well adjusted for apparently what was a very wild childhood, unstructured.
I want to say, you started talking while I was taking a drink, and I stopped myself from taking a drink because I knew that I was going down a dark road with that one.
I feel like you should be even worse off than you are.
Thank you.
Welcome.
That's a arguably sweet thing to say.
I'm here for you, buddy.
You're saying that I rose above my upbringing, and
let's not use the term rose above.
That I'm better than I should have been. I appreciate that.
Yeah, if someone gave me a biography of your childhood, I'd be like, oh, this person's dead.
Dead or in jail. People said that. Yeah, people said I was on that path, and
not yet.
Not yet.
I still expect you to be better. and you disappoint me pretty constantly.
Yeah. Well,
Oh man, does
don't
this
want to
feel
bring
like
the
one of your
whole
parents?
me and my dad bit back, but that does sound
Yeah.
like my parents.
Oh wow, it's been a while.
It's been arguably too long.
Yeah,
but
that is one thing that your dad and I have in common. That
disappointed.
we're both
Disappointment?
just disappointed in you.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
a big
shit.
one. That's a big one. All right, moving on to my next pick before I have an existential crisis. Number 3 on my list, and I kind of waffled on this one for a while. It could have been. I know Thomas is gonna get super mad with me. It was 2 or 3. Like I was thinking about all the memories of this one. Number 3 on my list, and again, this is one that I really feel like you don't get to experience at all as an adult, especially now, is snow days. Snow days were one of the best parts of childhood. Even back in the day when and honestly, one of the best parts about it, which was also kind of one of the worst parts about it, was waking up super early to watch the ticker on the bottom of the news screen to see if your county got canceled or not. The absolute joy of being able to go back to bed after that moment and sleep, feeling like the best thing ever for like the couple hours after, the best. Then you get up and you call up your friends, and or you just like walk down to one of your friends, you throw on all your snow gear, you walk down to one of their houses, you go sledding, you do like forts, you do the snowball fights, you do whatever. You're having hot cocoa at their houses, they're having hot cocoa at your house. Your mom's making chicken nuggets for you guys because she can't go into work either. Like
Hot
it's all
dogs.
just hot dog. Maybe he's making hot dogs. Probably not really a
Hot
snow
dogs
day
and
food for
hot
me.
dogs
but
and hot chocolate.
Yeah, Karen Albert made hot dogs.
hot dogs and hot chocolate.
Yeah, if you
That
boil
sounds
it
like
in the
diarrhea
hot
waiting to happen.
Sorry.
Just at that point,
we can
just
handle
coat
it
your
back
hot
then.
dog in chocolate. You disgusting human.
my,
Oh.
my body could handle it.
I feel actively sick that you've said that. No, snow days, they were just the best. And we were super fortunate. We grew up in the DMV during a period of insane global warming where there were times where we had like 10 straight days off of school, and it was prior to all the online learning, where now if they have a snow day, like they're still doing school. And now as an adult, if we have a snow day, if you can't make it to your office, you're just working on Zoom and you're emailing and all that. Like there's absolutely zero joy to snow as an adult, because all you're doing is shoveling it and then going back to work, and shoveling it and going back to work. And Thomas, you got a question? I assume
No,
it's Griffin. How did you think it was such a good pick?
No. I have 3 comments.
Three
One,
comments.
once again, your list is just getting sucked into Andrews with school being canceled.
Yeah, but
I
that's
have 4
because
comments.
he started. No. He started his list saying getting out of school, and then added 9 different things to it. That's not on me. If I'd gone first this week, he would have looked like a dickhead.
Yeah, but you didn't know the order. 2, I didn't go back to sleep. I always went out and played.
Really? You
3,
do like the 6 a.m. play?
Yeah,
I was always going back to sleep for a little
I'd
bit.
probably play inside and then go out, but like I never
Sure.
went back. I'm not a back to sleep guy.
Yeah.
Adults still enjoy snow.
Do they?
Yes.
Hmm.
That's why I don't check the weather in the winter. I just look at social media to find out if it's snowing.
Got it.
I
Okay.
don't remember my number 4, but it was something about you being dumb.
Yeah, that makes
Most number
sense.
4s usually are.
I mean,
I got it. How can it be global warming if we were having more snow?
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate
I-
you.
what
You
I
should get
heard-
a segment on Fox News.
What I heard from both you guys is that you like snow days and you like playing, which
Oh,
is why you should vote for
Shut
my
the
list.
fuck up.
But I mean, like,
You know what I
yes,
didn't do on snow days? I didn't just kick my friends because I was wearing snow boots and I got a big ass foot. And that would have hurt.
And he didn't have friends.
Yeah,
Oh.
all those things are true. Yeah, I like this pick. I like this pick. I liked more when they canceled school before you went to sleep, which happened pretty rarely, but would occasionally happen. That was the best feeling.
That was
I-
weird too.
That's fair.
But
I
there's
didn't like going to
something-
sleep with the doubt, you know.
Yeah. It's when you do get to have that feeling, like when you're like pretty confident you're going to wake up and it's going to say no school. The absolute worst though, and this is a very similar time, not quite the snow day, the 2-hour delay. Because the 2-hour delay, it's just like you're just putting off the
What's the
inevitable.
point?
Let's just get this over with.
Right.
What's the point?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
honestly, at this point, I just want to go in because I'm not going to be able to go back to sleep. I'm not going to be able to go have fun with my friends. What am I going to do? Boot up the PS2 and play the Spider-Man 2 game for an hour before I go to class? No, let's just go. Let's just go to school.
I bet that's exactly what you did.
That is exactly what I would do.
I'm not.
No,
I'm
a
not
great
gonna
I
kid.
can't do that.
What am I going to
I'm
do?
not gonna-
Not web swing around town during the 2 hours I have in
Right.
the morning? Of course, I'm going to
Exactly.
web swing around town. I'm going to be.
I'm not
in
gonna
New
kick a
York.
2-hour delay out of bed. I'm not gonna kick a 2-hour delay.
No,
out of bed.
no,
But
it's not a
like,
diving board. I'm not going to kick it out
Yeah.
of bed, but I'm not going to choose it.
Yeah.
It's no
And the last thing
overwhelm.
I'll say on snow days, and you mentioned it, was like the fact that because I guess all students have laptops now and they can do virtual whenever,
Mhm.
that that would be a crime against childhood and humanity if that goes into next year when like schools are back to in person, and on a snow day they just say, okay, open your laptops, we're doing virtual learning this today.
I think there's
I
a
mean,
really,
that-
really good chance that that's what it's going to be
I
like.
think
that
it's already
is
gonna
that is
happen.
the most
Yeah,
blasphemous shit
some
I've ever
places
heard in my
have
entire
been
life.
doing that since some counties came out with like the take-home tablets or whatever, and obviously it's like richer counties, but there are places.
Who
that have
on
been
what
doing this.
board like did not have a childhood to the point that they think that's a good idea?
Well,
It's
but
like
not,
so
e-
many
not
other
even
decisions
that.
they make. It's not about the childhood they had. It's about forcing their kids to have more stressful lives so that they can make more money out of college, which I guess is something they're going to determine in 4th grade. No, get the fuck out of here. Let your kid have a snow day.
I went to
that's-
college and I don't make money.
right.
You did go to college. I don't know how much money.
Yeah, you
make,
could
but
do
let's
you could do all the
make-
right things and turn out like Thomas. So you never know. You never know.
Oh, that is
No,
cutting.
but yeah. It- Kids should have snow days. Teachers should have snow days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Facts of
exactly.
life.
That's the other part of it.
Facts of
Teachers
life.
also, people that spend an enormous amount of time planning for class and all that, by forcing them to immediately pivot over to just doing online learning for stuff like that, just let them have a break. They work hard enough. They spend enough money on their jobs. Let them have some time to themselves where they can literally just sit in front of a fire and drink hot cocoa. Like whatever. Let them do whatever they want that day.
Which, like, not to get too sidetracked and make this too long of a thing, but like, obviously, not the worst thing coming from this pandemic because the death and disease.
Sure.
But like, the fact of the matter is, everyone's like, "Oh, teachers did such a great job. Teachers did an amazing job pivoting. Awesome work." But which is true. But what it's going to become is, oh, so they can do it again.
Yeah, it's just going to be higher
Like-
expectations on a class of people or a job category that already has insanely high expectations, which is educate the future of humanity.
Yeah,
And
it's
don't
just
get
gonna
paid a lot of
become-
money to do it. This is turning into like we believe
Yeah,
teachers should get
yeah.
way better things, which we do.
Number two.
Yeah, no, we're moving on before I get sidetracked. I'm sorry.
Snow days.
Yeah, so it is. On the complete inverse of this one, the exact opposite weather. Again, global warming. Yeah.
Sundays.
Yes, sunny days, summers at the pool. Summers at the pool are one of the absolute best parts of childhood. And I was convinced as a kid that summers at the pool were going to continue into adulthood. And almost immediately after becoming an adult, they pretty much stopped because you go to college and you come home and you're trying to see all your friends. Then when college is done, you go to your job. And the first thing on your mind when you get done with work is not going to the pool. It's, preparing for the oncoming like death. But yeah, summers at the pool were the absolute best. We already talked about it earlier with Open Well. We talked about it with all the games that you play there. Kind of like Andrew said about playing. In some cases, you have an entire separate group of friends that you spend like the summer with because it's all the kids that go to your pool that you wouldn't normally see at school. You're basically
That's
there
kind of
from-
cool.
Yeah, is that poetry? You did tell me you
You're
wanted me
such
to
a
rhyme.
tool.
You told me you wanted me to rhyme more, so I'm doing it.
Stop being a fool.
You're there from sun up to sundown. If you're
You want
on
to see
swim
this
team,
spool?
like you've also got all your swim friends. I'm just not gonna humor you, but that was a good amount of rhymes. Yeah, it's just like
It's also the
I think
easiest
the
word in
three
the
of
world
us-
to run.
I think the three of us can speak for it because we were all pretty big pool rats growing up. It's just like a hugely massive part of your childhood is to grow up at the pool. That's one of the best parts of childhood.
Yeah, it was huge for me, and it lasted for me a little longer than I feel like it lasted for you guys because I worked at the pool till after before my junior year of college. So, but you kind of get the sense of like when you're just there for work at a certain point, it
Yeah,
changes.
you've kind of aged out of the like fun and games of the everyday.
Right.
I was kind of surprised this or something like this didn't get on Andrew's list for kind of that reason.
We said playing, so
Sure. I do agree with this. Yeah, summers were the best, but it also comes back to,
Jumping into
teachers
water.
and kids don't get enough time off. No, but yeah, I mean, you have summers off, at least where we grow up. It's the kind of weather where all you want to do is be at the pool.
Yep.
And to be lucky enough to have the access we all had, even if we were different pools, Griffin from Andrew and I, like, I mean, it was so easy to get there and just spend the entire day there. And you didn't need to leave for anything. And if you did, you could always come back. Like, it was, yeah. I fully support this pick. But again, you did mention like open well, which came from my pick, and playing, which came from Andrew's list. So it's like, get your own.
Yeah, you're right. Fuck me, right?
Nah, I'm good.
All right. Well, that hurts in its own little way. We're going to move on to my number one pick, and I'm going to close out the, again, winning list of this week because, guys, I think I did a pretty good job on my picks. Number one on my list, and God damn it, I'm pretty sure Andrew did kind of mention it earlier. It's sleepovers. It's sleepover, and it's sleepovers like as a kid. Like adult sleepovers are just like I got too drunk and I got to stay at someone's house, or like I'm single and I'm sleeping at someone's house. I don't know why I'm censoring myself. This pod is not for children. Like I'm sleeping at somebody else's, but sex, yeah. But as a kid, it's like you're going over to your friend's house at night, and maybe you're having dinner with their family. You've got an insane number of just like unhealthy things. You got like those chip boxes. You've got candy. You've got soda. You're telling your friends you're going to pull an all-nighter. You're playing video games the entire time. Oh, number one chip guy. Number one chip guy. Yeah. You're playing video games with your friends all night or kind of just like fucking around, watching movies, doing whatever. And then if you've got cool friends, which I was really lucky to have, you're waking up the next morning and their moms are making bomb-ass breakfast. Or if people were sleeping in my house, my mom was making a bomb-ass breakfast. Like it was just like the perfect part of childhood. And, if you had like friends in your neighborhood, it was as easy as walking down the street and then being like their mom telling your mom, hey, Griffin's sleeping over tonight. Hell yeah, he is. Let's play 20 hours straight of whatever video game we're super into at the time.
Yeah. When you lay it out like this, I kind of wish I put mine one pick higher because I agree. It was like, it sleepovers, you could stay up all night, which I never really did at home. And yeah, just like playing games all night. It's great.
I mean, I don't disagree with the pick. Like some, it didn't make my list because I feel like my list was more things that didn't occur often, where sleepover is like possibility of that occurring every weekend. And like what I compare it to is like, it was almost like a mini vacation. Like it's like when you go visit your friend who lives in a different city, like you're going for the weekend, like you're getting away. Like even though the stress we had as kids was minimal compared to what we have now, like, and responsibilities, like you were leaving your home, even if it was literally walking down the street with a pillow in hand. Like
you're sleeping on someone's couch and you're happy to be doing it rather than you're not going to wake up and like complain about how much your joints hurt and how badly you slept and how hungover you are. You're like, oh my God, I get to sleep on my friend's couch. We get to watch movies all night. This is the fucking best.
Yeah, the way you say it, Thomas, it's like I got home on a Friday after school and like yelled at my parents and was like, I've had such a stressful day. I'm getting away for the weekend.
I'm going over to Andrews.
And then, yeah.
Oh fuck, that's fair. No, but yeah, I mean, like I probably slept at Kevin's house more than anyone else's, and they had terrible couches in the basement, but I fucking love sleeping on them.
But Kevin had a great like friend basement.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was a good setup.
Yeah, he
But
had
yeah,
a
no,
great setup.
I can't disagree with this pick. I mean, yeah, it's definitely one. Like everything else on yours, I still at least somewhat enjoy. And not that I don't enjoy when like I'm sleeping at someone else's place, but like it's definitely a different. It's never going to be the same.
I haven't had
Yeah.
a friend come over in adulthood and be like, hey, you know what we should do tonight? Pull an all-nighter. It's like, oh, it's 10 p.m. I'm gonna go to my room. You know, if you need anything, it's in the fridge. Maybe I see you in the morning, maybe I don't. Like, good luck with your flight or something like that. Like, it's
I
not.
feel like anytime the three of us get together, it ends up being an all-nighter.
That's because we are unhealthy people. But we don't go into it expecting to be up until sunrise.
And it's never like
And
the
also, then we do
sleepovers.
have to think about the hangover, and that's like its
Yeah,
own thing.
and like sleepovers, like yeah, sometimes for my parents it was like, hey, you gotta be home by 10. We gotta go do this, or it was just like, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
But like now, yeah, if I was sleep at your place, it'd be like, man, I gotta go do stuff the next day.
Yeah, I gotta work and I gotta do some stuff around the house, and somebody needs me to drive them to the airport, and well, not in my case. Somebody needs Griffin to pay for me to get them an Uber to the airport.
Yeah, I mean, I'll speak for Andrew and said we had some pretty good sleepovers.
Oh, yeah. No, we did.
I think you
And
guys have talked about
just
your sleepovers before.
just
on this
because I'm
pod.
gonna tie everything into a pick on my list, I also liked sleeping over at Thomas's because it was like I had many pets. It was like I had dogs and cats all over the place.
And Thomas,
So,
dogs and cats and Thomas, just
yeah.
being pets all over the place.
And Andrew, I will say, because I use Kevin's sleepovers for his video games. Andrew used my sleepovers for my pets. I used Andrew's for the tiny tykes hoop in his basement, and eventually the
Yeah.
ping pong table.
Yeah.
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 You
Good stuff.
had friends that like checked off different boxes for like what you were trying to do that weekend, or
Yeah.
if it was maybe it was you knew there was already a snow day and you were having a sleepover at someone's house, like they were like, oh, they had a better hill or something like that. Like that was the house you wanted to wake up at.
I will say, like,
That's synergy.
yeah, like I think what I'll do with my kids' parents, my kids' parents, my kids' friends'
yourself?
parents, my kids' friends' parents, if I have kids or whatever, is like coordinate because like I got a trampoline pretty much around the same time as Kevin's trampoline.
Sure.
We
So it's
use Kevin's
redundant.
trampoline so much more than
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah. So
Like,
it's like,
so
why
much
didn't your
more.
parents just get you like a GameCube or something?
Why didn't I mean I had a GameCube, I was cool.
You know what
But
I
yeah,
mean.
like it's just like coordinate. Like, yeah, Andrew had the ping pong table. Kevin had the better games. I guess I had pets.
Griffin didn't come around
What?
until college.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you had
okay,
pets.
yeah.
That's a good one though. You're the pets guy.
I mean, Kevin had pets too, but
Yeah. But then you had to hang out with Kevin, so it was like ups and downs.
All right, what's your recap?
Good thing he doesn't listen to this pod. My recap, starting at number 5. Number 5 was sneaking out. Number 4, night drives. Number 3, snow days. Number 2, summers at the pool. And number 1, sleepovers. And as always, I'm ready to win this week. I'm ready to
I
collect
got a
some votes.
question. Are you self-conscious or do you think about the way you count with your hands?
Do I think about it? No, but I know that I count weirdly.
Well, no, I mean like I feel
like
like I
switch
changed mine.
sides while I go.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. You're like,
Yeah, I don't know.
or then
I've broken my ring finger a whole bunch of times and it like shakes a lot. So for whatever reason, holding it like this is very different than holding it like this.
I don't know. It felt very much like a cheerleader thing where you're just like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I don't have
Wow,
a history
you
as a
used to be a
cheerleader, but
cheerleader?
I do cheer for my Lakers, who unfortunately lost on the day of the recording of this pod, but it's okay because they're gonna be fine.
Speaking of.
Yeah.
or they won't be, and they'll be out by the time this comes out. Who knows?
Which, if they're gonna lose to anybody, I hope they do lose to the Suns because I like the Suns.
Caps are out.
Caps are out.
Yeah.
On to next year. Still want to Stanley Cup.
How long can you hang on to that, Dallas Cowboy fans?
That was 3 years ago. We can hang on to that for a while.
Nah.
Yeah. Well, I always say this, or sometimes I don't say this. Good pod, Always glad to do this with you guys. Glad we're 10 episodes in.
Yeah, we
You
all
gave
showed up,
us-
and I'm proud of that.
We all showed up.
We did all
You
show
gave
up.
you give us shit for when we finish our list and say good list, but here we are finishing a pod and you're like, good pod.
Yeah, it is a good pod. I believe in us, and I believe in what we do. The next pod, number 11, coming up soon. We'll do something a little bit similar. We're going to flip it a little bit. Just a little teaser for next time. Not going to say exactly what we're doing, but it's going to be along the same lines of this. Then maybe around 12 or so, we might start bringing guests on. Have not discussed it with Thomas and Andrew, but I'm throwing it out there now because people keep asking me. People keep telling me, they say, Griffin, I know you speak for the group. I want to be on the pod. And I say, yes, I do speak for the group. I speak for the pod. I am List Night. I want to have you on the pod too. And I'm not going to say who those people are, but they exist. They're out there in the ether and they want to be on the pod. And
we should create like an interest form. We've gotten a lot of interest about people that want to be on the pod.
We have gotten a lot of interest.
So we should have like send us your resume. Because we gotta weed out the, we gotta separate the weed.
If you want to be on the pod, I mean, you know where to find us. Hit us up on Twitter. Hit us up on Instagram. Text us. Actually, don't text us. I want it to be something public so that people know you do want to be on the pod.
I mean, it's a weird thing to be like, people keep asking you and no one's asking you. But also, because we like to talk about causes and things we support and things we want people to get behind is hashtag get Flint Tropics in the league, hashtag Adam Silver, listen up, hashtag vote Thomas. I don't know.
Yeah, no, don't vote Thomas. Make sure you guys share us on Twitter, share us on Instagram, share us on Facebook, tell your friends about us. I say this every week. Tell your enemies about us. If you don't like somebody and you're not really enjoying the pod experience that much, show them the pod. If you are enjoying the pod a lot, show them the pod. It's okay, no matter what. Maybe you'll have something to connect with them about, and it's always better to have friends than enemies.
Hey, if you have a crush you're trying to connect with, show them the pod.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Yeah, because this will work on that. Yeah, 100%.
And then, like Griffin said, if you don't like someone, let us know, and we'll make a list of people. I don't know. It feels like
that's actually not a bad idea to show your crush this pod, because then she might be like, wow, like it could be way worse than the guy who just like these three guys are way worse.
I could be dating any one of those guys and it would be significantly worse.
Yeah. And like, if you don't like someone, let us know and we'll make a list of terrible people, and all 5 for each of us will be that person so that they know we don't like them.
Oh yeah. All right, guys, episode 10 in the books. Looking forward to next week. See you again soon.